Chat, say hello to YouTube. We are jumping in a traditional draft for Zendikar Rising. This is the first one we will be posting on YouTube. I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit so it's not overwhelming. You don't really need to hear game sounds that much. And the idea here is we're going to explain all of the picks, all of the thought process. You're all famous as long as you say hello now. If you don't say hello now, you're kind of not famous though, right? Must have missed the boat. All of them have been firing early today. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you for checking out the video series. You can find us drafting live weekdays on twitch.tv/Semulin. Traditional draft, for those of you joining in, means that we're doing best of 3, so size boards will be a consideration. You guys are welcome to discuss sandwiches if you like. Just remember, everything's a sandwich. So the theory I'm on right now is that the spell lands are not worth picking over solid cards. Now that may change over time, but that's where I'm starting. I'm not interested in this one either. This pack basically comes down to pick your poison. You can take the Cleric of Life's Blood, which I think is the best if it works out. You can take Deadly Alliance, which is fantastic. You can take Into the Royal or Royal Eruption. And I like all of these. I think blue is still one of the stronger colors, so there's some argument to just first pick this, but I don't think I can get over picking a hard removal spell. It's a really tough pick, especially for pack 1, pick 1. The suggestion that Ryan made earlier was that you should take the build around and try to get there with it, and then build whatever deck you can with whatever's left. So I think I'm actually going to try this Cleric. If we can get into Clerics, it's going to be amazing. If I can't, we'll figure something else out. It's close, though. It's really close. And here's where the splans kind of don't tempt me anymore. I think last week I probably would have just taken the spell lands. We call spell lands splans here instead of modal face dual somethings. So we can consider the Vanquish the Weak, which would play nice with the Cleric. We could consider the Rabid Bite, which is just a solid removal spell, or we can take another build around and see which of these two work out. And I think I'm into that right now. So this is a slightly different pick than what I've talked about, where we go for bombs and then removal. And I'm curious to see if there's actually something to it. Well, now, we're definitely black. I think we just take that second Thought Thief and go in. I like Thwart the Grave a lot. Like, it goes in every draft deck. The Thought Thief, I think I would like to start with 2 of these. Because now I can just take rogues and start doing rogue things. We'd need to see that rogues are somewhat open. Why, hello there. I think we just found our lane, huh? Well, we just came off of doing a 3-0 and a 2-1, so I'm fully expecting the first YouTube draft to be a 0-2. Like, why wouldn't it be? But this is a decent start for rogues. How convinced are we that this is what we want to be doing? Because I can have 2 clerics too. I think the Rog is stronger right now. And I don't have any removal, so I think I need to be a grown-up and take the Feed the Swarm. I don't want to be. I want to take the Royal Mage. God, it's so much more flexible if I just take this and then play whichever one we get to. But I feel like the right colors are open. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. Okay, Relic Golem is saying you should be doing rogue things, which I think we already knew. But this is our uncommon artifact for this deck. The first feed is very good. We're in YouTube view currently. We will not be changing it. Yeah, mono signpost draft. If my theory about the dual-faced cards not being as good is true, then we will want card draw in these decks. The difference is I can take the Celebrant. I feel like I'm staying open too long. Esper Rogue Clerics. We're not that far from it, are we? This is a difficult draft to navigate because I'm in one of these two decks. I just don't know which one. If there hadn't been a Celebrant there, I would just take a card that could go here. I think they can be friends. The challenge is I don't think we can really be two colors, which is kind of the difficult part. So here I think I want to take a black card because we're more likely to play it. Esper Party, but like there's really not mana fixing here. So I don't think that's reasonably a thing we can do. The Shadowcat is pretty good in all black decks, so I think I'm going to take this. We really need to start finding the removal in the next pack. Like, I guess we still consider these here, but I've got like a 1/4 tribal for either deck. Tons of pack beasts. That could make it work. All right, so coming back on the spin is a Dreadworm, which isn't particularly great, or a Seafloor Stalker, which would be quite good with the Rogue deck. So I think we're going to hedge there. The cat's been quite good for me. You don't even really need anything to get the counters going. It's just like if your opponent has a removal spell and doesn't kill the cat, and you have 2 mana open, you can make it a little bigger. Yeah, I don't think Roiling Vortex is something we're particularly interested in. Anticognition, I think, is a serviceable 2-drop in a blue deck. I do think we'd be interested in a Mind Drain with the Rogue deck, but I think I'm okay with this, especially when I have 2 Thought Thieves to hold up. So the way this pack is going, I think we've got more indications that we should be doing Rogue things than Cleric things. But we'll see how the next one starts. I have no removal either, and that was the gamble, right? We're going to gamble on not taking the removal spells quite so highly to try to get the payoffs. And I think we have them. The problem is we have them in 2 decks, which is kind of weird. This is playable, sure. I like playable cards. They continue to vex me. I am vexed. Can you just give me like a rare that plays into one of these 2 tribes? Like Feed the Swarm, I guess. Because I don't have anything to get back with the first Royal Mage, right? We could get back an Anticognition or a Mind Drain. I'm going to need to kill things. If it wasn't here, I think I'd take the Blight Priest. But I know whatever we're doing, we're in black. There's going to be things that are alive that I want to be dead. Yeah, we're just going to build 2 decks. That's the idea. All right, there's a Bubble Tea and a second Stinger. The second Stinger gives us a real plan. And the Bubble Tea hints, although does not confirm, that blue is at least open in this direction, meaning I might be able to find another one. I think with the Relic Golem, we're finally ready to commit. This is removal. It's a 1/4 Death Touch. We've got some card draw. There's nothing for the Cleric deck, which is fine. I could also consider a Duelist, which I don't hate. I probably only want 1 Duelist, though. Maybe 2. We can look at a Bubble Tea. We'll probably find one. There's an Into the Royal. That's quite nice for us. I think I want the first Into the Royal over the first Sky Dancer. Yeah, I agree that the 1/1 rogue is going to be decent in this deck, but I don't think I need to value it there. I'm thinking here between the Royal Mage and the Vanquish the Weak, but I think I need to be a grown up and take the Vanquish, which is great because now I can take the Royal Mage. I'm still very interested in Sky Dancers, but I think I've got enough now that we could call it reasonable to take the first Royal Mage because it can actually buy stuff back and fill the role of a 2-drop. Yeah, I just need a few more rogues. Binding seems late adjacent. Can I get a pacifism is not good in this set? It seems like they both might be, but I feel like we've got more incentives to be going rogue. So we'll grab the rogue. That's why it's in the set. Pacifism's never as good as it usually is, or it wouldn't be in the set. We'll get us a Skitter Snick here. This is a rogue, and I think we'll have the Vigilance turned on pretty easily. Yeah, I think we are certainly roguey boys and girls. I'm somewhat interested in a blood price, but I think I might just play a grasp. I guess grasp and mind drain are close to the same card. Let's take the one I don't have access to. Subtle Strike seems like a gift. So our spell contingent is pretty good, and we spun the other duelist, which is probably how many I want. I gotta count this as a 2-drop for counting purposes. So I think we found something that's at least open adjacent. I wonder how the cleric deck would have been, or how this would have worked out if we'd focused a little sooner. I don't know that it's 100% on the Skycat currently. There's nothing wrong with the Skycat. It just doesn't really fit what we're doing. I don't think we're playing any of this, so we can just make the uncommon printer go burr. Sure. Yeah, if you've got a bunch of people in rogues, you might not see these come back around. But I don't think we can make a 3-color deck. I've seen people try to play that against me, and it usually has not worked well for them unless they were base green. I think that's a lot of what green is giving you here is the ability to splash, which is certainly not a bad thing. This kind of feels like a sad pick to me, because I don't have enough kicker to really realistically take that, right? I mean, I could, sort of, but it doesn't really fit in. This, I think, might actually be good for us. Which is bizarre, because I didn't think I'd ever be picking flying men. And yet here we are picking flying men. I'm interested in these as well. If either of them table, I think we'll be happy. So come on in, buddy. Let's do it. 1/1 flyer. Ooh, lordy. Oh, I'm so good at the video game. I'm so good at the video game. Let's do the thing. Yeah, it's just kind of like happening. This is a third Thought Thief. This card's absurd. So I want to make sure we've got enough creatures to actually kill them. I've got room for like 4 more cards realistically. I think they should be creatures generally. Like, we're obviously going to take the end of the royal, but we're going to end up cutting some spells here, which I think I can totally deal with. Are we building a constructed deck? Basically. I think I'm more interested in the Sky Dancer than the third duelist. Like, I appreciate what this is bringing to the table, but I think the evasion matters a little more here. It's a late adjacent Royal Eruption. All right, so this will let me cheat on lands a little bit, because like I was thinking this might be a 16 land deck, but I could play 17 with this and be happy enough. This is about where I want to start to value these spell lands, because I'd been valuing them so highly that I was taking them out of nearly every pack, and I was just kind of consistently getting 2/1s, and it felt like that first one we did today that got the 3-0 was because I was taking these reasonably. This seems like a pretty big combo with the Duelist. I mean, which shows you some of the respect I have for the Duelist, right? But like, you can play this, get your combat trick, sack it, move along. I don't think we want any of the rest of it. We could play a Blood Priest, but yeah, this deck does look like bonkers synergy, but I think if you play enough, you'll see that. It would really surprise me if we want to bring this in, but the gem printer needs to go burr, and I don't need these cards. So we can have Big Flying Cleric. We don't have any life gain to speak of. I mean, I guess we've got Mind Drain. I don't really want any of this, but I suppose the 5-drop Flyers is the one I'm most likely to play. I just don't think I'm super likely to play it. I could sort of see an argument for the Scry. All right, we got back the Skulker and the Sky Dancer. I think I've got enough mill-related things going on now that I just want to take the Skulker. 2/2 Death Touch seems pretty good. And we don't need supplies because I'm going to play the Research. We can bring that in if we need it, sure. The Cleric deck was just as open. Do I want to Grasp? I could play a Grasp instead of our worst creature. Well, I guess there's nothing else I'm going to take, so we can decide, but I don't think I'm playing 3 of those, but we could. And we can sideboard into Clerics. It's great. I kind of dig a lot of what's happening here. I think I want to play 17 land and count the Wizard. I sort of want to make room for a card draw spell. Do I need one in addition to Field Research? Because like we're kind of planning for the Royal Mage to be our 6-drop. This has potential to flood out, but I'll get some cards here. I'll get some cards here. These two at least cycle. What's our worst card here? It might be one of the Duelists. I like Grasp a lot for turn 2 Lockdown. What's Grasp? Oh, Glacial Grasp? Yeah, I think I could do 16 lands total. I don't think that's crazy. But I don't think I need the Grasp. We're looking to deal damage in the air. I think I want to play the Mind Drain main deck and potentially swap it out for Grasp in a matchup-dependent scenario. Because like when our deck has Death Touch and everything, locking something down doesn't seem super valuable. That's a possibility too, Andy, of having like 17 on blind and then swap out. We can think about it. But I think this looks like a pretty good rogue deck to me. It would we'll make it Azorius because obviously the Dimir would never like advertise that they're Dimir. It would probably be better if I had that one alliance, as it turned out, because they were just going to pass me all the rogues. But let's see what we can do. Like I said, since this is the first draft I'm recording to put on YouTube, I'm expecting it to go 0-2 due to, I don't know, mana screw, but be nice if it didn't. Okay. We'd rather have the blue, but there's more blue sources in the deck than anything else. And if this can connect a couple times, it turns the rest of the cards in the deck on. So we're kind of a land away from glory. If you are new from YouTube and have not heard me talk about mulliganing, it hurts to mulligan. You generally don't want to do it if your hand's close to keepable. This one doesn't need much to be good. It does need one land, but even if it's black, we can play. Now, if there's any justice, I won't draw lands and they'll roll over me, but It's a slow start, but we kind of just need to trade card for card with them when we can, and this Mind Drain's going to allow us to do that. Because they're on 3. They need lands and spells. Yeah. That's why the mulligan's so brutal, because like they basically mulled to 3 if that resolves, and they'd rather just scoop than show it to me, which is neat because my hand was kind of garbage. But all we know here for sure is that they're clerics, which isn't telling us a lot. On the draw, there's some consideration to bringing in the Verdict because it's going to kill most of their deck. And if it's bad for me, then great. I think I actually like that. I think I actually like that a lot. Because this should just wreck them. Oh, well, I mean, Mind Rot's worse than Stealing Your Thoughts, right? Like, I'd rather get milled than have to discard. I understand that this kills all of our deck. That's not the consideration. There's an argument that the Disciple may not be great against them, because some of their stuff is going to get value when it's played. I think I'll just cut Cognition when we're going on the draw. Don't even super know what they're up to. So if we have the Wrath in hand, we won't play much out. If we don't, I'll just play it like a normal game. Yeah, that's the argument for why it's in the deck, but... I want to go ahead and get value out of this Duelist while I can, and getting to mill him for 4 is a good start, because we're going to have to vanquish this. It's just going to kill us if we don't. I don't even think I can block it here if they attack, because a Subtle Strike would just be horrific. It'd be real bad. Because I need this dead. I need it dead. They certainly have magic cards in the deck. That is not uncommon. No real reason to pick up a land here. Unless they just didn't have a land drop, which is fine by me. I think I like this one, Mill Them. It turns on a lot of other cards in the deck. And I don't think I want to trade. Well, good news, because I wasn't going to be able to. But the argument, too, is if the 1/1's just going to sit around, this at least lets it do something. Yeah, I could bluff the attack. I just don't think there's any value to doing so. We've got them at the reverse threshold, so that part's good. And I think I like hit for 2, play the Stinger, leave up into the Royal. I'd rather cast it and get full value, obviously, but that is not an option for us. Like if they got a combat trick for the 1/4, all of a sudden we in business. I'll probably take a similar line next turn. Difference is I can realistically attack with this one. There's no need to hold lands in this deck that I can remember. A Sky Dancer, huh? Do I care about that? A little bit. Like, I certainly don't care that they mill me. What are the chances they're just going to kill me in the air? They're probably going to trade these, which is fine, and then I've got the option to bounce this if I want to. I don't think I care. I'm just going to draw land anyway. If they don't block, all of a sudden my plan may change a little bit. What? Okay, never mind. Our plan has changed significantly. I think that's a little bit better for us. Just a little. We are flooding out somewhat, which is possible when you're running a deck with this many low drops and some card draw. It's a downside for us here. They flash that in again. I don't think I care. Yeah, let's see what they do first, then we can decide where we want to go. Because if the plan is to trade both of them for this, I think we're okay with that. I wonder what they're scared of. So I can draw the cards now, or next turn I can draw more. I think I'd rather have the cards now. A Mind Rot's going to make me sad. But we can deal. We got a 3-mana 6/6. I like that. Yeah, we just get that card anyway, right? So I think now we're ready to trade off and start sending this. I don't think I want to trade off my Stinger yet. Because this gives us the opportunity to attack next turn, and if they don't have something, we can kind of go on the mill plan, which will take forever, but it is at least a plan that we have. Hey, they're making the mill plan even better. I like it. And currently don't have great blocks, eh? This all of a sudden makes our attack significantly better, because I can just swing with everything. They just got really no good blocks here. Like, that's probably their best. What, huh? If you go and chump, why not die? There you go. Yeah, this feels kind of broken. I like it. Would draft rogues again. A deadly alliance indeed. We will kill them or mill them. Ooh, lordy. That could have been bad. That could have been real bad. They're at 5 cards left in deck. I mean, we just force them into a chump if I Subtle Strike now, which I think I like. Hey, looks like they don't like it. That's good news. Good news. So not a 0-2. That's great. Despite doing this for YouTube, we will be doing Stream Raiders battles, obviously, because it's important, and we've got all these pumpkins to smash. We could still clutch a 1-2 out of this. Yeah, if they chump, they lose on the mill. It works out both ways. I could cut this part out, but I want the YouTubers to know how much fun they could be having if they were watching on Twitch right now. They could be playing Stream Raiders. Chat, tell them how great Stream Raiders is. We get to smash pumpkins and get loot. Like, are you not in the mood for Halloween? Because you should be. We still got a few houses to smush. I've enjoyed it. I think it's a fun thing to do between rounds of Magic. I was initially sus of Stream Raiders and thinking we would vote it out and eject it. But then I started playing when SimWife got into it on King's stream. And I was like, this is just actually fun. It do scratch the passive RPG itch. And it kind of scratches like an auto battler itch too. But it gives us something to work towards together. It's a shame when some of the maps take a little longer, but... Killing haunted houses is great! We're smashing these houses. We're burning down the house. They're working on the mobile version, Hogwarts. They're working on it. We'll get us one. If you were in the Twitch stream right now, viewers of YouTube, you could be placing units and helping us win these battles and getting fat loot. You could even be showing off how great you are, like David and Boss Worshipper. All right, so rewards for everybody, extra gold for Yargle, scrolls for Unglued and David, and we are on to the boss fight. It's undead, so I'll use my Templar, and then we'll get right back to the drafting. This is what Templars are for, right? All right, y'all take care of supporting it. And once more to the fray. More Bargle for your Yargle. Shift control is full control. Good to know. All right, what do we got here? This is a decent opener. Like, the Duelist is obviously looking a little weird, but... Thank you, Shadow Scythe. I appreciate the Trogdor bits. I'll try to get it next turn. That's fine. It's much appreciated, my friend. It's unlikely that I'm going to draw a 2-drop anyway. And if I can get some additional value out of this Duelist, that's just great. They could still potentially Spike Hazard it, but that's an uncommon. It's one that they appear to have, but, you know. Yeah. All right, so it looks like we've got blue-red Rogs. I kind of want to just royal this fella and attack. I'll trade 1 for 1 pretty happily. And, like, getting the next mill connected means that we basically have the reverse threshold going. I think I'm down with this. Yeah, this is looking real good. Okay, they've got rogues and wizards. So half a party. Oh, this is just lovely. Get rogued. I don't really need to mill them anymore, so this can go on the defense, which is probably where it will shine. We are a little susceptible to them getting home slice. I'd like this to not die, but that ain't killing it. Doesn't matter where you put them. All right, they like to party though. Rogue, warrior, wizard. But without a healer, like, what are they going to do? So I definitely want this dude in play. I definitely want to attack with the 2-3. I think that's all the attacks I have this turn. Because when this is unblockable, I don't think I need to do anything with it. Other than attack unblockably. 2 relic golems? I wanted those. I kind of wish I'd let them draw those. Yeah, I've had plenty of decks that were blue-red things I drafted. I don't think I want to trade this for either of those. So we'll just get in our damage here. That's a pretty good one. That would have been really good in our deck. It's like they like drawing cards. I do too. So they can make this unblockable, and there's just nothing I can do about it. I don't care for that. If they double block here, the Subtle Strike gets actually quite good. So I think I do have an attack here. They only have the 1 rogue, and if I kill it, that's not a problem. So I can give this +1/+1, or I can just let them have the cards and not care that much. I could kill the second rogue, and I'm thinking about it, because this trade is kind of okay already. Because giving it +1/+1 doesn't really do much. So it's like, would I rather be ahead on board or just not have to deal with this? The thing is, they could draw another rogue, but we are at least busting up their party this way. I think they're probably more likely to have more wizards than champions, but I still can't talk myself out of this. And giving it a counter here just doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, they're dealing 5 damage. You like killing both of those when there's this in play? Like, if they're getting back in this game, this is how they're getting back in this game. Yes, so the option is, do we want to Subtle Strike and win this combat, or Subtle Strike and kill this? And I'm not 100% sure. I do understand what the card does. I do understand what the card does. Because my win condition currently is the Sky Dancer, and theirs is the Infiltrator. So, like, I suppose keeping this... I think I'm going to go this way, because keeping this alive, I think, makes more sense. Because then all of a sudden I have another win condition. I have 2 that they have to deal with. I think the 5/5 Menace is good enough, because I've got that plus the unblockable dude plus this. That's less than ideal, but we still get the thing killed. And we don't lose our guy. And they had another rogue, so going the other direction was not going to help us. So, like, they can tap this guy and get this in and draw a card, which is scary. Look, they made it unblockable with the sneaking guide. But they still got to deal with all of our stuff. Is that on? No, it cannot attack or block. Mine can. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can cast all of this. I don't know why I wouldn't play this in Swing Team. I can't think of a reason. Because we've got a threat to pump on this, so it shouldn't be a good block either. So they're going to try to turn their golem on. I need that to be scary, but I don't want to trade this for just that. That makes me sad, but here you go. They had 3 of these with, I can't really figure out how they were trying to enable them. That's a lot of relic golems. Probably just with each other? Maybe. Yeah, they have 7 cards left, so we've got, well, 6 after this draw and 5 after this. So, like, we could consider the mill plan, but I think we'll still kill them with damage before then. They can't tap this to activate. Uh-oh. No land one time? All right, so they're at 4, meaning this is a lethal threat. They have to block it. If they do, they turn on their own relic golem. They'd have to block everything on the ground. This may just be play a wizard and pass. Mill for 2, win the game. Because I don't kill them with damage. So I think I'm going to try that. What happens if I flunge? They take 2 damage and have bad blocks and then probably kill me with this. Because I'm flunging with a 1/4 without Death Touch. Unless I missed something, which is entirely possible, but this isn't doing anything this turn. It can block. And all I have to do is tap this twice and they're dead. They saw the line. So our spells that are cycling through for our deck aren't really doing much against them. Because they're really trying to, like, they're a relic golem deck is what's going on over there. That, again, makes me kind of interested in Shadow's Verdict. Because this kills a lot of their deck. It kills a lot of mine, too. But, again, if I have it and it's bad to cast it, that's good news. This I'm going to have a hard time dealing with. So if we'd attacked last turn, they can't block this, they take 2. This can't block, which is significant. But like attacking with this does, I guess it's lethal? But then if I'm attacking with this guy, it isn't lethal? Menace is a good ability. I do think I want the Verdict. I do think I want the Verdict. I'm not entirely sure I want the mana drain on the draw. So that seems like a pretty easy swap. I might want another one of these myself. But this should be fine, right? I think this deck looks pretty good. I'd play another Subtle Strike if I had one. Grasp, maybe? What is Grasp? Oh, this? No. I don't want to put cards in my own graveyard just to cycle through. It was a keyword in the last set, Andy. I kind of want to get another one of these in. Like, they were playing a lot of 1/1s. A lot's a strong word. A lot's a strong word. They were playing some. It was a pretty good core set. I thought it was fun. I mean, for a core set, like, I'm not expecting amazing things out of a core set, but it was not bad. Was it? Now, Eldraine I didn't play. They hadn't introduced people drafting yet. I think I want to leave up the Cognition and the Thief here rather than go for that mill. Because there's some chance that I could get him here. This is a gutsy play, but I am a gutsy player. What's up, Henry? I do like being able to hold up both. Okay. Well, I guess we'll hold up both next turn, too. Or just kill a Fisher Wizard, but I kind of don't care about that. How much is milling 2 cards worth to me? Because what I want to do is just cast the Disciple and be done. I think I like that. That puts him on the back foot and means next turn I'm in a little bit better shape. Work. It's not going to get any better as long as that's there. And then next turn I can just play this and have anti-cog. Plus it's more likely to be turned on that way. Dang it! That was the one I wanted to beat. So I guess we're hopeful that they tap out for a 4-drop rogue? Okay, that's a Fisher Wizard. You can have that. Okay, we'll counter a cheeseburger. If I draw a Feed the Swarm, I'd cast it. Because that's their way in. Can't really skip through with this dude, because if there's something to trade it for, we'd want to do the thing with the stuff. I was using that. That's hardly polite. It kind of was and it kind of wasn't, right? Like, we're getting through this at a decent clip. I think the main card I was scared of from them was the Infiltrator. Okay. This is all fine. Nom 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 nom. This would be lethal next turn with the land, and I've still got the bounce. Actually, it's lethal without one now. Neat. Huzzah! We did the thing. So could our first YouTube draft be a 3-0? Yeah, best we can hope for is a 2-1. That's kind of disappointing. I guess when you just get past nuts uncommon for a particular archetype. I do think this is pointing out that the spell lands aren't as good as we thought they were initially. Well, to be fair, they're as good as we thought they were initially, but you can't pick them that highly. Mine weren't. I always hated that when people would do drafts and record until they got the 3-0 and then post it on YouTube. It's like, oh my God. Like, who has time for that? I sure didn't. Yeah, I respected the drafters who posted that. Yeah, I would agree. The synergy is above rate. It's just good synergies. Good synergies. That was supposed to be a swamp, but I'm kind of okay with this. I planned for it to be a swamp, but I'll deal. There. Oh, it's just a turn off on my planning. May not need to counter a cheeseburger here. We'll see. That is a cheeseburger I will counter. They are Mardoing it. Well, the thing for me was, like, I remember way back in my drafting career, I had a bad draft and posted it to YouTube because I didn't have time to do another one. Is that worth feeding? Yeah, I'm not able to deal with it any other way, and it just fits the curve nicely. Like, it's a lot of damage to be taking. But I also think I'd rather be the assertive player here, because another land and I can get it back. Or the ACOG back. Yeah, if you only post the good drafts, like, you know, I'd like to think I'm pretty good at draft, but given the fullness of time, I'm going to have some losses. The gem printer cannot always go burr. But the reason I played that there was more because I could fit it in the curve, and there's some expectation of being able to get it back. They shouldn't have a block here. If they do, I'll just be subtle about it. Like, if they block this one, we just pump it. If they block this one, we'll subtle strike. Don't kill my thing! Did I miss that? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I'm bad at magic. We're bluffing a counter spell. I didn't make a mistake. I'm teaching you the value of bluffing. ACOG, that's 4x. No, it's Essence Scatter unless they pay 2 mana. Or if you've milled 8, then all of a sudden it gets better. Do these double count? I don't think it does. Actually, it should. Yeah, it should. Not that that's super important, but like now we get the double anthem. And I think we're going for a damage kill here. That's pretty funny. Sometimes double anthem ain't what you need. I didn't think the thief was that monstrous. So here we'll consider kicking this for a feed the swarm. Well, maybe not. Let's see if there's any biters. You want to trade this? It's a good trade. You should take it. I'd just take it. Yeah. I'll eventually kick this. I just don't need to right now. This guy's been pretty good. McLord. You've done it again, McLord. So I don't think we're super concerned about that yet, and they can't even equip this, and that's not a party member. So it would get nothing? Just menace? That doesn't seem great. I'm not sure whether I want to pump this or exactly where we want to go here. Like four is not quite enough. I guess I can just attack and see what they do first. I'm a little nervous about a kill spell for this, but then I guess I just pump this dude and kill the counter guy. Like, we may just be on a mill strat. Does Subtle Strike blow me out here? I guess it doesn't matter if Subtle Strike blows me out. I feel like it's going to be difficult to lose with the Feed the Swarm in hand, so I'm going to get that. That seems handy. So it was a Molten Blast, which is going to be good against us. That gets our 6/6. Okay, that slows our clock significantly, but c'est la vie. Hiya! I'm not playing around a Mind Rot by holding one land. That just means I won't have double black. Does the Swarm hunger? I mean, yeah. I'm hungry. Gotta eat. So if you think about it, if we win this game, then that means I've dealt 30 damage, because the only damage I've taken has been from feeding myself. But I gotta say, that cheeseburger was delicious. All right, we saw their entire deck, so this is what we're scared of, is big hasty death touch party. They're playing multiple smites, which are not particularly good against us. Yeah, they've got a lot of hasty shenanigans and the combat trickses. I may not have been able to deal enough damage for the two of us. I don't like Mind Rot as much on the draw, so I think we cut the drain. There's some consideration to bringing in the Grasp instead, because it looks like it would be better against them. And I don't think I want the Verdict here, whereas we have brought that in the other matches. It's a big reason to go black-red, right? Yeah, I think I'm down with the Grasp here. They also have kind of wonky mana, right? Because they're doing Mardu things, so we've got advantages there. Our mana should be better. Sure. Spin it to win it. Whee! Yeah. We're gonna steal your wind, I guess. We will counter a cheeseburger here. Meaning, if we get the chance to use this, we'll just use it. Just for mana efficiency, we play this dude. Also, it gets all of our threshold cards enabled. No, we cancel the cheeseburger. Because the Death Toucher should take care of a lot of problems. It's +2/+2. It's just good enough. They'd have to have specifically Spark Mage's shenanigans to get me here, and I'm not putting them on that. Hi-ya! As long as we don't start talking about peanut butter hamburgers, because that's weird. That's just weird. Boink. I wonder if we mill before we kill here. Peanut butter smoothies make sense. So the blast is out. The big hasty scary thing isn't out yet. Okay, I'll draw a card. I like drawing cards. So do I want to just mill here? Because I think I think this is going to deal 2 damage, and that maybe deal 2 damage and mill 2 cards. I think that's the best it's going to get. Because I'm almost assuredly bouncing something next turn. Well, I say almost. It was never definite. It's curious how many planes they were playing. It looked like just a 3-color deck, which is not something I've been wanting to do in this format unless I was splashing with green. Green seems like it enables it pretty well. The other colors don't seem like it works. Spork Mage, huh? I guess you're killing my duelist? Sure, you can kill my duelist. Poor duelist. So this doesn't quite kill them, but it's real close. Chonk. Yes, this video is also going to be uploaded to the YouTubes. I mean, we hungry. We was gonna feed the swarm again. All right, so those of you tuning in on YouTube, thank you so much for enjoying the content. I expected an 0-2, quite happy for the first draft we've recorded to be a 3-0. Huzzah. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, do consider coming and check out the stream. We are at twitch.tv/Semulin. We draft just about every day, Monday through Friday. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see you for the next video, which will be tomorrow. Bye, YouTube.